day everybody, how you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, and what we do here is to make very wonderful videos that could be helpful to solve your math problem. So what we have on the board, I have initial equation, and right there under initial equation we have a lovely question we would like to tackle today. Over time, so many students have asked me, Mr. Godspar, you've talked about indices, are you going to talk about exponential functions? I said yes, because initial equation can also be seen as exponential function. You know, in your calculator, you will see something like EX. This is a symbol of exponential function. It's an indication that this is what? An exponential function. So the first thing is, how do I tackle this? Have this in mind that in initial equation, you are going to be having a situation that leads to quadratic equation in some cases. Are you okay? Like a case like this leads to quadratic equation. So how do we do this? The first thing we do is, I would like to break this down. Since I'm having a 5 here, fine, I'll let me break this down. This will be 5 raised by 2 or raising x minus 5x minus what? 20 equals to 0. Now, what comes to mind is, how can I interchange this such that it looks exactly like this? Beautiful. You agree with me that this can as well be 5 raised by x all raised by 2 minus 5x minus 20 equals to 0. I just interchange it. You know, there's a law which states, like a power law in indices, that this kind of situation can come into it. After this, what do? I will say let A equals 5x. I will say let A equals what? 5x. So once I have A as 5x, if I substitute this A into this place, it will be what? A raised by 2, because A is now replacing 5x, minus, this will also be A minus 20 equals to 0. Now I have A squared minus A minus 20 equals to 0. So what should come to my mind is, I should factorize. I know I've made videos on formula method. I'll still be giving a video on factorization method, and I also make video on completing square method. So right here, you can, since it was not specified, you can use any of these methods, but I think factorization is easier. So I have a simple logic I use, which is AC, and of course A is 1, and C is what? 20, and this gives you 20. So what are the factors of 20 that work for A? The factor of 20 that work for A is exactly 4 and 5. Because 4 times 5 gives you exactly 20. Now, looking at this, the signs that will exactly work with this will be A squared minus, or let's make this a plus, 4A minus 5A minus 20 equals to 0. So you can say this is A squared plus 4A minus 5A minus 20 equals to 0. Now that this is the what do, I will collect like terms. So collecting like terms, this will be A into bracket, A plus 4, then minus 5 into bracket, A plus what? Plus 4 equals to 0. Because A times A gives you A squared, A times 4 gives you 4A, minus 5 times A gives you minus 5A, minus 5 times plus 4 gives you what? Minus 20. So with this, since we have same things in the bracket, it makes it easier. A plus 4 in bracket, A minus 5 equals 0. Now that I've done this, I have to work on them separately. How? I'll just simply say A plus 4 equals 0. So if I take this out, so that's A equals to what? Minus 4. Guys, you are agreeing that previously I said that A is 5 raised power x equals minus 4. So in this case, this situation is invalid. Why is it invalid? Because the bases are not even the same. Are you agree? So it's invalid. Sometimes it sees it as no solution to that aspect. But for this, A minus 5 equals 0. Take this out as A equals 5. Put 5x in place of A, that's 5x, equals 5 raised by what? 1. You are reading that there's a 1 which you can't see. So in this case, you have x equals equals 1 because the bases are the same, so the powers will be equal. So x equals 1. So this answer is valid. Now, in a case where you have two invalid answers, probably your solution is wrong. If you have one valid, one invalid is correct. Some student has asked me, is it all the time that you always have one valid and the other one invalid? No. In this case, there can be a condition whereby you have two valid answers, but you have one valid and the other one is invalid. It's fine. I repeat, if you have none to be valid, then there's a problem. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video. Bye.